Namaste, everyone. Welcome. I considered AHIMSA a really important subject for me to go back over, so that's why I decided to jump in and focus on it again. And what made me feel that is I was going through some old journals. Like, journaling has been something I've done constantly, consistently for a long, long time. And yeah, I found a happy list. Oh gosh. If there is anything you can do for yourself today, is write yourself a happy list. It was just the handwriting that I love my handwriting, and it was just so beautifully done. I'd taken so much time over it and so much consideration that it was 7 years ago that I did this happy list. I'm thinking, why have I not done this more regularly? All the things that were on it were all the things that I love even now. I was thinking, how many of those things have I actually been doing? Our life goes through phases. It's cyclical, isn't it? But there were things that I have been missing. There's things that I haven't been putting my energy into. And as a result, I think my experience has been maybe dulled down because of that. So, if there's any advice I can give you right at the beginning of this video, is definitely write a happy list. It was just such a lovely thing to find this morning. But relating it back to the video I made before and talking about ahimsa and how ahimsa was one of the most major things in my yogic practice that showed up, that helped me understand my experience of taking care of myself. So when you step onto the yoga mat, you are taking care of yourself. But when you step off, there's still more of the practice to attend to, and it's on a very, like, a really subtle level that you can move into ahimsa. So it's one of many. There's many journeys, um, many legs they call it of yoga, but we'll go into those on a different different time. But this one, essentially, I'm going to give you kind of an overview and then some practical kind of tips on how to do it. We'll do some breath work, and I've got my cards with me as well, so we'll do that too. But ahimsa is definitely about awareness. Ahimsa. Ahimsa means violence or harm, and means the non version of that. So non-violence, or the practice of non-violence, non-harming. And you can find more of it in the Yoga Sutras by Patanjali, where it's expressed a lot. Um, and it's spoken of in many yoga practices by many yoga teachers. So it's a style of living consciously. And so, yeah, an extension of your physical practice, moving into a much subtle level. So those levels are mind, body, spirit. In your mind, it's your thoughts, and in the way you present your thoughts through your speech, and in how your body moves, and in the language of your body, what you take in, what you receive to your body, what you eat, what you hear, what you see. Going back to speech, how you speak to another individual and what you speak of and how you speak of yourself. And it's endless. Um, whether it's maybe low vibration, whether it's gossip, judgment, everything that holds an energetic vibration. And you're aware of it, you become it, or how, if you're not aware of it, you still become that, and you attract more of it in. And then on a spiritual kind of like energetic level, it's what you attract, how you are perceived, how you perceive yourself. Moving down onto a really energetic level. So very powerful, super powerful. In the kind of physical practice, if you are not practicing ahimsa, then you'll move your body into so much pain and discomfort that you will cause injury. If you're practicing AHIMSA, there's more awareness. There's more awareness of yourself. You know, discomfort is good to a certain degree. Pain is not, and injury is not. So that's quite a dynamic, kind of clear understanding of where AHIMSA sits. So when you become more aware of the practice of AHIMSA or non-harming, then you start to generate a new, you show up differently. You show up in a different sort of presence, and it is very influential, and it is superly. That's not what it is. It's very attractive. That's what very attractive and very magnetic. There's less fear within you. You're more about the love than you are about the fear. So you attract that in, and it is super magnetic. That's what I was trying to say. And it's a really lovely surprise that life can offer you the same back. And no wonder that if we are, let's take for an example, quite an extreme version, like if you're having negative thoughts about yourself every day, which we all do, because we have thousands and thousands of thoughts, most of them are a bit meh, and you're not eating correctly. I mean, correctly as in toxic foods, non-nutritious foods. You're watching violence, you're playing violent games, you're seeking out negativity. All of those things that say consumed by one individual will create so much resistance in your life experience that you will pull it in, and you'll pull more of it in. And so you'll be constantly hitting up against this wherever you go, because you become it. You've made a choice on your on what you are to become, and so it just shows up. So if you're having like the same experience over and over again, you're like, why? Then that's because of it. That's because of it. It's very powerful. And there's no judgment here as well. There's no judgment at all. We're all on the spectrum of this, and we're all in a different place, and that will be the case forever and ever. So definitely no judgment. So on the practical side of this, what you do, we've got 4 points that I think would really benefit you. So thinking about anger, we all have a level of anger within us. We all have an element of anger that we carry around with us, whether it's from previous experience, something ancestral, something historic. It's can be very, very subtle. So like, road rage isn't road rage. Road rage is someone using the environment to portray their anger and their fear without it looking cray because they've been given the opportunity to. So if you're squeezed in a situation, your fear and anger will undoubtedly arise. And you see that again and again and again, don't you, in different situations. So that, I would say, would be really valuable for you. If you see something in yourself come up that doesn't feel right, that makes you feel angry, sit in that experience for just a small amount of time to try and understand where it's come from. Don't push it away. Allow it to have its time. That can be a really powerful experience for your AHIMSA journey. And so like in meditation, if I'm holding space for meditation and someone's like, I can't, too uncomfortable, I don't know what I'm doing here, what's the point, it's too difficult, my mind goes crazy. Exactly, that is meditation. That is being more meditative. allowing all of that stuff to go on, but just remaining in some stillness. Not always that pleasant, but at the same time, the awareness and experience breaks down, makes more space for the new to come through. So minimizing anger, just being aware, being more aware. Support life. So support your life, support others. I think it's generally, you can kind of box that one up into kindness, like your relationship with how you support your life, what you consume, what foods you take in, like I mentioned before about toxic foods. Supporting life, like animal life. So again, no judgment. It depends where you are in your experience, but deciding not to kill for whatever reason that is, whether it's just superficial, and really considering how what you consume, whether that be what you take in and what you listen to, or what you eat, is supporting life. So that's your choice, your decision on where that sits. Reduce ignorance. So love comes from within, and then it just happens without. So on the, from it, just you just naturally become more in love. The whole experience is love, and there's no expectation. Ignorance comes from applying or altering the self to bring in an external appreciation. So we're seeing so much distortion these days, aren't we? People making themselves different to get an external response. But it's just like a cover up. It's like a scaffolding, so to speak, to distort the exterior, and not do the internal work, which essentially brings about better life experience. And that can be on all sorts of different levels as well. So whatever it is for you. And exploitation can be really finite, but it's also something that we can't do. There's certain things that we're not able to do much about because it's so big, but we can bring it right down to our experience. And it might be that you're being exploited, that you're adjusting yourself to make something else work, like people pleasing, for instance. It's complete exploitation of the self without authority of who you are and what you're about. It's exhausting, and it's time consuming, and it takes up all your energy, and you're left with nothing. So determining the self will limit that kind of aspect of exploitation. And then, in a sense, are you exploiting something, somewhere, someone else for your own gain? So whatever level that is on you. And again, it can be so finite. And I'll allow you to receive that. If it lands, you'll know what it is. Okay. Oh, just for 60 seconds, and then I'll pull some cards, which I've already done. But I'm going to do again. So breath of fire, a ujjayi breath, however you wish to call it, breathing through the nose, powerfully pumping the breath just for 60 seconds, just to get us into the space. So just glimpsed at my painting of soul. So if you don't know, that's Soul, my cat who passed away this time yesterday, who was absolute soulmate. And will always be. Or let me know if you've got an animal that was your soul creature, your soulmate, That would be, see how I'm bowing my head in honor. He was tremendous. It'd be great to hear if you've got someone or a pet like that in your life, or who's passed on to the other side. Let's do that with them. Okay, deep breathing. Ooh. Also, no good time. I think I need to do a full video on breath work. For these cards are oracles. They're called Whispers of Wilderness. These are from a useful yoga student that I had a long time ago, who knew how obsessed I was with English. And they're huge. There's the first one. Also has to go down. That one came out last time. Decision. Ooh, powerful. Making the decision. Making the decision. Yeah. Decision is super powerful. Like, I guess you could listen to this and think, yeah, nice stuff. All very lovely, be. Keep on making the videos. And then go and have enlightenment relaxation. Oh, she's so cool. Relaxation. So relax into your decision. Yeah, maybe relaxation's what we all need, you know? Because you definitely cannot see who you are unless you relax. Enlightenment's a word that gets thrown around a lot, isn't it? Enlight. Yeah, you definitely get lighter. You definitely get lighter in your experience if you practice AHIMSA. Enlightenment. Get lighter. Take the weight off the decision then. Just practice. Nice cards though. This is so big. These cards are so huge. Steve, yes, it was Steve that gave them to me. Oh, such a beautiful yoga student. We're all students, we're all teachers, but very powerful energy. They'll be doing good stuff right now. I want to get the mood. Has anyone seen the Mudra cards? I want to get the Mudra. There must be one. Wow. No, maybe it's 3 because I pulled out 4. Yeah. Pulled out 4 last time. I would say take some time to relax. If you're anything like I've been in the past, or know people who, feel guilty about relaxing, and that's harm. That's harmful to the actual time that you're having. Even if it's just if you're looking at me going, yeah, 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 I don't have time to relax. 5 minutes. 5 minutes out of your 24 hours. Pure, deep, essential relaxation. Get lighter. And on whatever level your decision is to practice ahimsa, it will be, because you can't go all in on ahimsa straight away, because again that becomes too aggressive. It's a subtle practice. So that's all I have for you today. Namaste.